So I ran in to Jeff and Chris the other day at the farmer's market, and the subject of the location came up. So we got to talking about why it was a good place. And I told him that I had worked for Virginia Tourism for 4 years, and one of these Love Works was right outside the window. So you could see every day how visitors reacted to it. And the visitors had been on the road for 4 hours with the kids and family pet. They just wanted to get out, stretch their legs, get over the stress of, you know, the West Virginia 64 mountains. And then they'd see that Love Works. And it was a real pleasant surprise as far as a distraction from all that stress that they'd just been through. So next thing you know, they come over and they're taking pictures. The kids are running around in this big open area around it. And it made a good first impression. A lot of these people would come to Virginia for the first time. And the first impression they got was this interaction with the love sign. It was comfortable, it was ensuring, reassuring. So when we started looking at sites for our particular Love Work, we talked about the financial and economic benefits. There's no argument. I've been involved in a lot of projects, and very few of them has anybody spent tens of thousands of dollars marketing and advertising a product I wanted to do. Well, Virginia does that. And each of the travel consultants, the counselors up there, really love Clifton Forge. It's so easy to tell somebody you get off on 24. You don't turn left or right. Go through Clifton Forge restaurants on the left, right, shops, art galleries, get right back on 64 and continue on east. So of the 275 plus Virginia Love features that the state markets, this one is one of the few that contains changeable seasons, changing foliage, green space, and we're in the shade right now, which is nice if you've been on the road all day. And a running mountain stream. There, you're not going to find one out of 270 of the other Love Works in Virginia. So it's impressive. But when you talk about making a good first impression, you look around and you've got 1900s religious architecture, post office, civic architecture from the 1800s, 1900s, a school of the arts. You walk across a bridge right in the middle of a thriving, healthy commerce district. I used to be able to throw a baseball from right here through the window at Libby's Closet. We're that close. Once you look at this and realize what the Love feature was designed to do, this is a perfect location. There's no danger of children running in front of traffic, as some of the locations, you know, it was dicey. It's not hidden. I can tell people get off on 24, 1 light and 3 lefts. And you're right here. We love that. It's so easy. If I tell them to go to the Industrial Museum in Covington, unfortunately I have to say put it in your GPS. There's too many twists and turns. So not only do we get the money spent by Virginia Tourism, you get 3 live cheerleaders, travel counselors that really like telling your story. So that's it. That's why this location, among all the others, is the best choice and only choice. So that's it. Short, sweet, hot.
Any questions from council?
Where exactly is the spot?
I'm sorry, let's see. Yeah, Bob.
Is it handicap accessible?
Yes.
So you can bring an electric wheelchair down here.
I'm pretty sure you can. I think they had to do that when they built the amphitheater.
Where is the exact spot that you would put the sign?
Right about where the shadow cuts across.
Right across there.
So right there, right next
Right
to
there. Right across here.
On the line of the shadow or going toward the bridge?
Toward the bridge.
Between the amphitheater and the bridge.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not handicap accessible, but I've only done with stuff like that all my life. You couldn't get an electric wheelchair down here very easily, number one. That bothers me a little bit, but it's
No, it's a valid point. Yeah, it's really just valid.
and most of the people that come and travel and stuff, because I've called people that deal with the love things and ask them a lot of questions. I'm big into questions and answers. So people come here with a cane and have a hard time walking. There's no clear path to get here at all, I don't think. At least I haven't seen it yet. I'm also concerned about, are we gonna seal this off? Because kids running around and playing on this, it looks like people have gone through slats of wood on this as it is. So I'm just worried about safety hazards.
I'm glad you brought that up, really.
And behind,
I want to know what is safe about some of the other locations, safer than this.
I don't know, I haven't been to very many of them. I haven't.
What-
I'm only worried about this one. This is the one I represent.
And I'm worried about this one, plus any others that might be in competition with this one.
I know Humpback has gravel parking lot and grass, and I don't see anything any different up at Humpback than it's here.
And the thing about Humpback is that they get off at Humpback, take their picture, and get back on the interstate and keep going east, missing Covington and Clifton.
Yeah, if you're in a wheelchair at Humpback, you have to travel on gravel. I'm 100% sure. And go up there quite a bit, and if you go on the grass, there's no sidewalks or anything. If you got a cane, you got to walk on the grass and the gravel.
Yeah, but I don't think it's quite as hilly as this. I don't think you're dropping down, what, 35, maybe 40 feet?
In elevation?
Yeah, from the road to here.
I mean, the distance from the road to here.
I'm talking about from there to
From
there
right,
down.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's even 5 feet.
You don't think it's 5 feet?
Nope. I'm
Okay.
not even 6 foot tall, and I'm looking, I have to look down to see the road.
Let me call you back.
If I parked right by that little library right there, that is below, that's about this high.
Okay, so
The road is this high.
4.5, 5 feet.
4.5, 5 feet.
I'm 5'7", yes.
5'7", 5'7". I got the
Okay.
level on it.
Was when I was 16, I
Well,
don't know about now.
I have a friend that does that for a living. He'll come out here and evaluate it for me. And I've gone with him before, and I tell you what, if you've got no safe place for an electric wheelchair, now remember, the electric wheelchairs don't have the big wheels. They have the little wheels, they'll get stuck. I mean, if they want to build it here, that's fine. I can still voice my opinion. I'm also concerned that when they built this back here, they put a wall up to keep people out of the water. Are we going to do anything to prevent? I mean, if you've got 4 or 5 kids down here horse playing around and running around, I don't want them to end up in the water.
Okay, let's take it, for example, that it's located at any spot. Let's put it at, let's start with Hardee's.
Okay.
You can't fence it in and keep them out of the highway, right?
No, you can't.
And let's put it at the town hall parking lot.
But when I get to Hardee's, I'll have some gripes against that one also. Because I'm really big into handicap awareness.
Okay.
And if we're not, we might as well just say it.
Do you
Put it-
have you looked at any that would allow you to make a choice or express a preference?
For here?
No, for any site.
For here in the town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, where?
Hardee's would be my #1 choice. And the only thing people say against Hardee's is because Hardee's won't want people to park in there. Well, I've talked to people at Hardee's, they don't care who parks there. I've never gone past the parking lot when it's full.
What's the speed limit to that?
Parking lot?
35.
What's the speed limit where the parking lot is where the,
No, not the parking lot, but the road, Ridgeway.
the Ridgeway is 35. Yeah. And how many feet from the Ridgeway, from the road to,
I have no idea where you're putting
Okay.
the signs. I really have no idea where you're putting it.
No place you put it is going to be 100%
Well,
safe.
I agree with that.
I mean,
I'm not arguing.
we, you know, the water, back there, you can put a fence up, yeah, but that takes away from what you want to do with, when the kids come down here and fish and other stuff like that. I mean, most of these kids are going to be, if they're traveling, going to be with their parents and somebody's going to watch them. I hope.
If they get a Humpback, there's a river.
And being handicap accessible, I would think everything here would be handicap accessible now. because I know that they wouldn't have built this, the theater and all that if it wasn't handicap accessible coming down there. And if it had to, and this is me, just in my opinion, if you put it right there and you needed something to go through the grass, I'd see if we could just get a sidewalk, man. It wouldn't cost that much. I mean, something just coming right
Build a
through it.
sidewalk from the road
You wouldn't have to go from
to
the road.
there to here.
Absolutely, simple solution.
I just point things out.
Yeah.
You got your
And it's
opinion.
good.
But,
And
I
if
mean,
bothers
that's
people,
your
that's
job.
more their problem than mine. But I don't think anything is, I still, have we changed the land yet? Have we figured out how that's gonna work?
he will talk about that over the phone. Chuck will talk about
Okay.
that. I
Because
guess
no matter
Mac
what
and all of them
happens,
know, but
I'm only one vote.
You're kind of writing a story here, and it's a story that you want people to tell later. And whether I was thoughtful or not thoughtful, and I think we've all exercised a great deal of thought into this spot. So, that's all. I'm more than willing to hear of any alternate sites that would offer as much more. Because that's the goal of this.
I don't
is
know
to
if I
find,
want Hardee's behind my love sign.
or the
or the
scrap.
junkyard, scrapyard.
Scrapyard, yeah.
And all they're gonna do is eat at Hardee's, and Hardee's will benefit, and they'll leave and won't see the rest of the town.
Right back where we were.
Another thing that we're gonna have with this love sign is directional signs and informational signs to lead the tourists to the Bridge to Everywhere, to Amtrak, to the School of the Arts, to the CNO Historical Society Depot, and that's part of our plan also. We've even gotten in our design plan far enough along that we're going to have that Q code on some of the signs, and you can look it up on your phone.
We could say now that John Morris has just agreed to work on this committee with information technologies incorporated into this site.
And we have Glenn Bryant and Troy Cottrell working on it, and you just don't get more talented than those two people also.
The first step was to get the people with skill sets that could make it work and work well. Troy Cottrell and Glenn Bryant, both metal workers. Troy works for GenFab. He's a an engineer as well as a fabricator. So when we'd say, oh, we want this, Troy'd say, that's nice, but it won't work. So we adjusted our design to meet what would work. There's been a lot of thought going into this, and we're continuing to recruit the skill sets necessary to make this feature last far longer than the Virginia Tourism Program relative to Love Works. They'll come here and see something nice, not even knowing what the Virginia Love Works is all about. They'll see it, they'll hear this creek, they'll see this foliage. They might even, take their shoes off and walk through the grass. Probably yell, kids, get out of the creek.
Might spend a couple $100 in town.
Exactly.
And still all at Hardee's.
Exactly.
Will it be lit up?
Absolutely, if you wish. Yes, of course.
That was one of your, it'll be lit at night.
In our plan, we do have lights.
Now, the Virginia Tourism Council, they provide, you go on the website and type in Love Works. And Virginia has this beautiful website. And you can call Virginia Tourism to help plan your vacation. And they will recommend where you're going. Oh, Indiana to Virginia Beach. Oh, well, here are the Love Works along your route.
There's an article.
You've got people advertising for your town, marketing your town. We're not paying a dime for that. So let's make a good first impression, because we haven't met the people that are going to come visit. We haven't met them yet. They haven't met us. But when they come in here and experience the kind of welcome that we provide, they're liable to say, I can go back there and be part of this. This is the spot.
There's an article in the VML booklet today I got from over there. Also got a picture of me and Shorty in it if you want an autograph. But and it's an article, the Love Works.
He's not smiling.
The Love Works signs and everything in that, and read it and it gives some information.
I'd like to see it if you share.
Okay.
Now, I did make inquiries about what, on average, a town this size, what type of revenue is generated by a Love Works. Well, they said the data is not given out because people don't want to be on the hook. They don't want to say, oh, say Clifton Forge would make X number of dollars because this town makes X number of dollars. In the past, has been done. They put those figures out, and it's come back to bite them.
Yeah.
So they said, we can only tell you, this is what we do to market that site, this is how much we spend, and what you put near that site will determine how much revenue you generate.
All right, my last question. This is a simple one. When you contact these other places, how much just drive by, stop, oh, there's a love sign, I'm going to do that. Are we going to have that opportunity here?
Yeah, absolutely. There'll be 3 people every day at the Jerry Zone Travel Center saying, Clifton Forge, 1 light, 3 lefts, love sign.
Because just driving by, if you're going west, you're not going to see the love sign.
Oh no, you wouldn't, no.
And if you're going east, you're only going to see it probably maybe for 3 seconds on this road right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about this road?
Yes.
This road.
Right here.
Because everybody I've talked to said it has to be visible, so flow-through traffic sees it. You can't just rely on people.
What'd you say?
Flow-through
No.
traffic.
The people you talk to are who?
The people that I talk to in the community, they say, where's it
In
going
the
to be?
community.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about the people that operate traffic.
Well, the people that I work for, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
If they drive through here and they see it, fine. But if you're driving on Main Street and you don't know it exists over here, why are you going to come over here?
Because there were signs saying there's a love sign.
Okay, you're talking about
And you're on-
residents?
No. People driving on 220 and 60 going through town. They don't even know it
This
exists.
is a destination point. It's not a, not something you just do spontaneously. It's not an impulse stop. It's a destination point.
Oh, you planned it on your vacation to come. That's what he's trying to say. It's planned. It's planned to come here. You just don't happen to roll up on the love sign.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
At one point, the Arts and Crafts Center, from their sign, has people stopping every day, just passing through. So if we have the signs, which we anticipate having, that's going to be a big.
Yeah, our coffee shop has more out-of-town people than town people come to.
It was
Always.
interesting to see how many people came up Route 220 per day. How many cars? 6,000. How many cars heading east, getting off exit 27, 24, past Clifton Forge, 10,000 a day. Now, of course, you know, a small percentage of those may be going here to shop. But if you distill that down to the weekend traffic, you're going to get a lot more tourists. I used to do data mining for Kroger, and it's very telling. 10,000 a day, I would never have thought of it. 6,000.
If they ever finish 220,
Yes.
we'll never get more than 6,000.
Yeah.
I think it'll be well advertised, and I don't think the travelers are gonna miss it if they're looking for your hometown people. Is gonna know where it's at anyway. I mean, everybody should be able to. If you live in Clinton, you ought to be able to find it. I hope so.
Actually, this is
Yeah.
whether the hometown people see it every day or not. It benefits them every day because the merchants and people that offer services here are going to benefit from those transient dollars, which benefits the general population community.
And it's not costing taxpayers.
I can't believe it. We're not paying for the marketing.
Taxpayers are penny. That's what. I mean, it'll be well. You read the article, it is well advertised. All these love signs are. And if you can find one in a nearby place, I won't mention nothing on camera. You can find anything.
But let's put it in the right place. Let's not squander that money that Virginia's spending. This is the right place. I can see your forehead bubbling, Bob. What do you want to say?
No, I'm fine. And it very well might be. It doesn't have to be a unanimous vote to be put anywhere.
Of course.
Doesn't have to mean I have to agree with it.
Of course.
But the first time that something negative happens, like a wheelchair tips over or something bad happens, I'll remind you that we had this conversation.
Please do.
You got that, Jerry?
People going to the library could fall over the side of the cliff. Whether you put the love things here.
And I
or
wonder
not.
why you come to meetings.
What?
I wonder why you come to meetings. People can fall out of the library into the river.
People going to the library
Okay.
could fall over the cliff. You know, to walk this little trail that's on this west side of the library. You're
Are there
very
any more
close.
questions on the sign? Or?
Did a good job. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for listening.
The Theater Foundation has agreed that they would accept a long-term lease on that property. Same terms of the lease to us as we lease the theater to them, $1 a year for ever how many years you want to enter into a lease agreement with them. And I'm sure y'all received that same information.
So what are we actually leasing?
My understanding, and that has to be decided, but my understanding is just the footprint of the sign and access to and from the sign.
Yes.
That it has, the fine details, Bob, to be honest with you, have not been worked out on exactly how much square footage or what have you, but the way I interpreted the email is ever how much property they needed for the sign and sculpture to be placed upon, plus access to it. And I believe I read in that same email that the foundation was going to continue to maintain the grounds.
Right.
So our public works crew would not have to cut the grass, do the weed eat, and take care of the flowers and things of that nature.
If it's when it snowed, we do the little lot walkway or.
I would think that it would be our responsibility to shovel, because they don't have anything down there that they shovel, except in back in the amphitheater area. So. Was that accurate?
I'm sorry.
Was that accurate?
That's, as far as maintenance, yeah, they're going to continue to do what they're doing now and include the Love Works maintenance.
Any more questions?
I'm good now.
Mac, any of y'all want to add anything to it? Feel free to.
I really appreciate you guys going out there with us today and kind of seeing what we're seeing and hearing about how well it works. And also, we're not paying for any marketing or advertising. I can't emphasize that enough. That's huge, huge value. Thank you again. Also, if you have any further questions or if you would like to view some of the details as this project progresses, we started phase 2, which is the selection of the branding elements, history, education, music, arts, and this is what John Morris has come on to spearhead with other graphic artists in the area. So if you want to be involved in any part of this development process, we would love to have you involved. We seek your input because that's who it's for. It's